A Real Pain. That was my second screening at the BFI London Film Festival, and I didn't actually know too much about this. I knew it was a Jesse Eisenberg directed comedy with him and Kieran Culkin starring, and then it had great reviews out of Sundance, and that's all I really knew. And I'm so happy I was able to catch a screening because this film is really good. A Real Pain explores two cousins, Kieran Culkin and Jesse Eisenberg, who took a trip to Poland where their late grandmother grew up and then managed to escape the Holocaust, eventually relocating to the United States. And they go on a tour to see where she grew up to honour her memory and their relationship with her, but also address their own relationship together as they address tensions and feelings they felt in the past. First off, this film is really funny. It's really impressive that the comedy hits as easy and as well as it does, considering how deep the content of the trip is. They're visiting concentration camps and landmarks in which bring up a lot of deep emotion and feelings, which are handled so well. A lot of the comedy is through Kieran Culkin, who is that cool guy that everyone wants to be around, but would be completely insufferable to be around a lot of the time, who, in the words of Eisenberg, lights up a room but then shits in everything in it. And Jesse Eisenberg's character is awkward but has a sense of reason about him and helps support his cousin throughout the trip as they're both dealing with the grief and loss of their grandma in different ways, but is also living a different life to Culkin's character. I appreciated everything about this film, but my main appreciation was for, like I said a second ago, highlighting the different ways people process pain, grief and trauma. The pain that Culkin's character feels is a lot more external, where he wishes people understand the generational trauma and his trauma that they're going through, but can flip at any moment where the emotions sort of take control of him. And this turns more into anger, but this comes from a place of pain, not malice. Eisenberg's character is a lot more reserved in the way that he processes pain and his grief, which is different from how he used to as a kid, due to him now having more responsibility and experience in life now compared to then, which is pointed out in the film, but then has a really powerful monologue in the end, expressing his feelings about Culkin's character, which is likely to be one of the best scenes of the year, from all films of the year, for me. This is important to highlight for me as someone who's dealt with quite a bit of grief and pain. I've learned that everyone processes it differently, and A Real Pain really shows this perfectly. The audience in my screening was laughing a lot of the time, which was a great experience, but when addressing the more emotional and deeper moments, the audience also knew to embrace and take in these emotions you're feeling and what the pain the characters are feeling. For example, when they're touring a concentration camp. And this again was played really nicely by Eisenberg. He really knew when to be serious and when to be funny. It's really intelligent storytelling and screenwriting from Eisenberg. And the acting from both Culkin and Eisenberg is great. But Culkin for sure is the standout and gives what could be one of the best supporting performances of the year. Okay, Oscar watch A Real Pain. I would absolutely love for A Real Pain to do really, really well, get far, do really well on the awards circuit. And honestly, I think it has a really good shot. I think the nominations it would absolutely deserve: original screenplay, supporting actor for Kieran Culkin. For the screenplay to incorporate the brilliant humour into the story showing pain and emotional generational trauma is really impressive. There's a very comedic script in there with great wit. Kieran Culkin was just excellent playing that comedic role, who's really trying to process his pain, and I would love for him to get a nomination. He really deserves it here. It's a really, really great performance. I think it depends on who gets in ahead of him. It's quite a decent year for supporting actor this year, but it's definitely worth noting and could very easily happen. I would put him in if it was me, even though I haven't seen quite a few of the other performances. I'd like for it to compete for picture. I think Kieran Culkin and screenplay would have to get in for it to do that, and they need to be competitive as well. Competitive in, you know, top 3, top 4, trying to get that win. But that might not be enough. It also depends on what Searchlight decides to campaign the most, because they've also got A Complete Unknown and whatever film they decide to push more. I'm not too sure. Hopefully it's A Real Pain. Again, A Complete Unknown could be really, really good as well. But we'll have to see what film Searchlight prioritises in their campaigning, or if they even the campaigning out, could that hurt both of them? I don't know. I absolutely loved A Real Pain. Eisenberg really impressed me making this. I haven't seen When You Finish Saving the World, which is his first film, but I know not many people like it, and those people have said this is a massive improvement on that, so that's great from Eisenberg. If you have the opportunity, please go check this out. I think a lot of people will be able to appreciate it. If you've seen A Real Pain already, please let me know what you thought of it, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next.